Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog, and we are here at Mosquito Lake. Let's say you were a low-level player trying to figure out what to fish for. Well, this might be an option. Now, we're using egg dough, which you probably can't make yet, but I'll tell you this. If you're in my chat, which is my dogs, M-Y space D-A-W-G-S, or, hey, if you send me a message and say, M-Dog, I saw your video, could I get a couple egg dough to try out? I will happily send you some. Egg dough is something that you end up making a lot of if you are leveling up your bait harvesting. So it's one of those baits that is a joy to give out to someone that might need it. For what it's worth, we are trying a combination of float and feeder, obviously. So we're using Crucian Gibble ground bait. We've got an 8 and a 9 clip here with egg dough, size 9 hooks. Just kind of testing it out. Looks like the Crucians are here, the rough are here. Float, as always, is a little annoying with the nibbles, but if you really are into float fishing, this would be a good spot to do it on all three float fishing. I just can't handle that, so I thought we would test the feeders as well. We're right here at the time of day you want to be fishing for something like this, early morning. So this won't be a long video, but let's just kind of see how this spot feels and seems. And yeah, so far it looks good. Catching some decent sized Crucians. We are getting nibbles on the float. I kind of want to put the float a little farther up next time, but since we're getting a nibble, we'll not move it till hopefully we catch this fish. The bite rate on the feeders does seem quite good though. And of course, this is what you're looking for. If you are low to mid-level player, you're looking for really nice bite rate. There's a trophy. Trophies are nice, but what's more important is just leveling up your skills and catching those decent fish. So there's our first Crucian on float. It's a small one. We are only using 6.4 line, so, you know, it could get a little dicey on float, but, you know, feel free to use a little stronger line than that. I'm just trying out with this Blade Master telestick, and it only has so much strength in it, so that's kind of why we're taking a little chance there. I would say go ahead and run like maybe 8 kilo line or something if you got it, just to be a little safer. If you hit a big Crucian or Gibble or, you know, even a small common carp or something on this egg dough, you want to be able to hopefully have a chance of lifting it out of the water. But it's always fun to see. Trophy Crucian while recording the video. I like it. 1.9. I'm curious what... Oh, we're getting a bite. It's one of the things about float fishing in a spot like this, Crucians. The nibbles can be maddening. But yeah, if you look at Mosquito, it might be worth trying night crawlers as well. But egg dough does seem to be working quite well. Night crawlers is probably a little slower bite rate, even if some of the bigger fish are coming out on it. At least that's often the case. Oh, by the way, as far as depth, we're right at like 1 meter on the float fishing. You go a little deeper than that in this spot, but you want to be right around 1 meter or so. And of course, I even saw this spot because of someone had posted it on VK, and they were doing all float fishing, which I knew that wasn't for me, but I did want to try it and figured that if it's working on float, it'll probably work on the feeder as well. Yeah, there's another really solid Crucian. So if you're a low-level player, you're making decent XP and silver catching this kind of these kind of Crucians here. And you probably can catch fish here 24 hours a day. You could switch it up, go for roach during the day if the Crucians start getting real small. Change your bait over to pearl barley or any number of things, worm, whatever you want to try, just to try to hit some different species. But except for that rough, egg dough seems to be very consistently catching Crucians right now. And we'll try to keep this video going until about 8 a.m. just so we get a little bit more of a look on Ooh, okay. Go sideways like that. You probably have a fish on, not every time, but here's our setup. If I didn't show that already on float. And again, that probably, it's fine there, but I wouldn't mind having that float sitting a little farther towards that grass over there. Another nice Crucian though. They really are popping out right here. Just popping right out. I think this one is on 8 and this one is on 9 clip. It's looking like 8 might be a little better. So we may switch that. Let's go ahead and test it real quick. Oh no, they're both on 8 presumably. So we know this one's on 8. I guess we'll try the other one next time we catch a fish. Maybe it's on 7. It just doesn't look like it goes out quite as far, does it? I like these little Pomar feather floats. I think those were from the Christmas fair though. For me, just for float fishing to make it a little more bearable, I just like something with some height to it. It helps me see the difference between the little nibbles that sort of slightly pull it down versus the more definitive bites when something's really actually feeding on your bait instead of just nibbling away at it. Alright, so yeah, we're at 8 clip on both. Must have just had some blowback on this line one time. Yeah, another nice Crucian. So if you're not into float fishing, just put 3 feeders out. And just kill it on Crucians. But if you are trying to level up your float fishing, I think this spot is active enough that it's at least, if you did have multiple float rods out, you'd do pretty well getting that activity going. Okay, so you can really see the difference there with the nibble, 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 pulling it down. And this type of species of fish at Mosquito, that's why sometimes if I'm wanting to focus on float on a leveling guide or whatever, I'll just go do bleak or dace or something at winding. They just don't nibble as long. So it's I don't know, less frustrating for me at least, but your tolerance may be different than mine on the nibbles. I guess the worst at this level is when you start catching roach. I think roach nibble even longer than Crucians in my experience. All right, that's gonna be a hook. Let's see if it's another Crucian. It is in fact another Crucian. They are playing nice today. Yeah, I like it. I really like it. Always worth checking before you start fishing, which I didn't do, but there very well could be some Crucian orders. There often are Crucian gibble orders at Mosquito, along with the rough and other species. And remember, from level 1, you can make this ground bait, which is what we're using here in this video. We've got the Crucian gibble mix put right into our little feeders on our picker rods. You probably won't have picker rods if you're low level, but it's no big deal, no problem. Just get a little feeder cage on your feeder rod, drop in the Crucian gibble ground bait. If you don't have leaders yet, that's okay too. Just use your mono line, you'll still catch them. The trophy rate may be a little different. The lower level you are, the less percentage points you have in bottom fishing or whatever type of fishing you're doing, and you know, not having as high a quality ground bait, and maybe you don't have exactly the right hook size. I mean, all those things matter, right? But look at this, holy cow, we have found the trophies. Even bigger. I feel like we were set up just right here on our leader size. We've got these little 4.3. Oh, that's one difference. I didn't realize that. So we probably want to go 4.3 on both. We've got 5.4 on this one, and it is may not be the reason, but for some reason it's not doing quite as well as the first rod. So we can change that pretty easily enough. But that is 2 quick Crucian trophies. Now, that's not going to be the bite rate on the trophies for everyone. It's also not going to be the bite rate on trophies during the other parts of the day. You see a higher percentage of Crucian trophies overnight and first thing in the morning. During most of the day, you're going to see other sizes like that. It's just the way it goes, right? But yeah, we'll back this down to 4.3 as well. And we will go ahead and wrap this video up here very soon. Got the old 2-for-1. Almost finished uploading the video from Tuba, so that should already be on the channel. And then this one, hopefully I'll be able to get finished uploading a little later this afternoon. Something for the higher level players, and then something here for the lower level players. Always fun to do both. And I think we have got a fish on. Small guy, small fry. But hey, if you're leveling up float fishing, and don't, every piece of silver counts. So if you're low level, I would keep all the fish, not only to sell them, but also because at places like Mosquito, Winding, even Old Berg, a lot of times you can get those cafe orders that allow you to trade in your smaller than marker size fish. So you end up making decent silver, even on the ones that aren't going to really give you much silver, like that one. And we'll go check the cafe here in just a second, just so that we can see if that is the case. All right. Look how fast the bites are coming in, though, on these feeders. It would be interesting to do 3 floats. I think it's deceptive right now because I've only got 1 float in, so it seems like the feeders are just killing it, and they are. But if you had 3 floats in, you would also see a pretty good bite rate here. I feel pretty sure of that. Not a bad place to level up float fishing and also catch some nice Crucians. Something a little bit exciting, in my opinion, about finding the right strength line so that you can pull out a trophy Crucian on a float rod. That could be pretty cool. That could be absolutely cool. All right, let's get one more fish here. And if nothing's going on the float, then we'll just pull everything in. I think this has actually got something on it, doesn't it? Maybe not quite. It's nibbling it, moving the bait around. Line 1 and 2 have got impending fish, I think. But this size 9 hook has ended up being really good. I wouldn't have used 9. I think I would have probably gone with something like 12 for bite rate, or if we wanted to sit on trophy, maybe even like 6 to 8. But for whatever reason, 9 seems to be doing quite well. This fish might have been too small or something. It might have just moved the bait, nibbled, and then walked away. Or maybe swam away, as the case might have been. Okay, it looks like we might catch one more on float. So let's do that. And if the feeder hadn't gotten something by then we'll call it. Hey, hey! It's a Crucian. Alright. So, let's go check the cafe. Hopefully the cafe does not make me a liar. I mean, how many times is there no Crucian orders at Mosquito? Maybe it happens, but more times than not, there will be, right? Thanks, cafe. No, really. Thank you, cafe. What is this? Is this amber? What's going on here? By the way, those rough orders are so good. 30 silver. All you need is 5 of these. That's crazy. That's crazy. Sleeper order, so easy. Perch order, not bad either, especially since they're so small. Even just with worm. Just fishing with worm, you're going to catch a lot of these trophies. Small hooks, worms, bleak, not bad. A lot of good orders right now. Crucian orders? Not to be seen. So how much is a trophy Crucian worth? Yeah, 10 silver. I mean, basically, just over 10 silver. Crucian Gibble trophies, nothing great on silver-wise, but fun to catch. And hey, it does add up. It does add up. We had, what? 16 minutes of fishing, 46 silver. I mean, you're on your way to a nice hour of fishing in that spot, especially as a low-level player. All right, folks, as always, thank you for watching. Don't sleep on the new Mosquito. And as I said in the last video, I think we are on the eve of a new water body here in the next 1 to 2 weeks, I would predict. No inside information, that's just what I'm thinking. So I'm really hoping to be able to do a new leveling series with you. But I want to let the dust settle with our new Yama River coming out soon. So hopefully we'll get to that, though. Thank you for the support. Tight lines, everybody. Let me know if you have some Crucians at Mosquito. I hope it goes as well for you as it did for me. I will talk to you soon. Tight lines.